owner of the ROM 3D animation channel.
You went through the whole Art of YouTube program.
So you can see we've gained about 200,000 subscribers, almost 70 grand in revenue, and about 618 million views. Before, I was finding all of the ideas myself. It was at the cost of hours a week just trying to find the ideas. All these sort of fundamentals just saves a ton of time. Like the algorithm was supposed to be down for all shorts creators.
Yeah. Can you walk us through your results and stuff that we were able to achieve after you joined the program? All right, welcome everyone. Rom, nice to see you on the interview. Thanks for joining. Today we're gonna talk about you reaching 1 million subs on YouTube, which by the way is an amazing achievement. So congrats on that. Welcome to the interview, to the podcast. Maybe just give a quick introduction to the audience so everyone knows who you are and what we're doing here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Rom. I am the owner of the ROM 3D animation channel. Similar content to the Art of War channel that you have and the Zach D Film style. I kind of put my own twist on it because I animated it with my face as a personal character for branding long term. And yeah, really excited to be here.
Awesome. And like one thing I wanted to mention about like this twist that you did at the very beginning is this way you kind of still made it your personal brand. So this is one of the rarest cases where you can be a personal brand without being on camera all of the time. So when I saw it, I remember how impressed I was because I was like, wow, like you can put out like 3 videos a day, 2 videos a day without ever pulling up a camera and shooting yourself. So
yeah, that's
that was
amazing.
The
point. That was really why I did it because I don't know if you've seen in my channel before, this was like a few years ago, I used to make videos with my face and I just realized that it was just not something I wanted to do long term because you gotta look pretty, you gotta have 10 different cameras and the quality and lighting and clothes, and I was just like not wanting to do that long term. So I also realized the value of your face and of your voice and of building a brand and followers and whatever. And so I knew I needed to sort of do something about that. And so the animation was just a cool way where Zach was doing, animation content, but it was just like random guys he got from like, I don't know, certain websites or he made himself, whatever, but none of them were like where you can create like a bonding and like a relationship and consistency. And that's where I thought like, hey, I can just record these videos with a microphone. I can be anywhere in the world and all I have to do is just make that character one time and then, the animators can change the clothes or any of that stuff and just sort of scale from there.
Right. Yeah, and that's basically what's gonna be a huge win for you long term because essentially that's what people are looking when they are, let's say, marketing directors when they're signing up those brand deals and then potential for the merch and etc. So there are way more options for you to monetize this moving forward as your personal brand, not as some faceless YouTube channel. But in general, you're basically running it as a completely automated like faceless channel, but with your face. So that's something very exciting. All right, so the way I wanted to structure it and the stuff that I wanted to talk about is you went through the whole Art of YouTube program, so to say, and we started working since September this year. And the first thing that I wanted to understand and kind of also show to the people, can you walk us through where were you before joining the program? So like, what was the state of the channel? What were your main kind of struggles or maybe wins, etc.? Maybe you remember where were you in terms of like the amount of followers and everything, just so we kind of set up the scene and understand like where were you before we started working together?
I don't remember exactly how many followers I had. I had a pretty solid knowledge of social media and how the algorithm worked. So I think on Instagram I got a video that got like 100 million views or something like that with the 3D content. But it was just more of like the systems that I think really helped me just free up a lot of time and just have more confidence in focusing on the long-term stuff. Because I used to find every idea, I used to write every script. I used to just message everyone on Discord. They would just send me the links when they were done, and it was not like a a clear system. And so I had a lot of the fundamentals, but just sort of like packaging it properly as like a real business, like you always say, I think was a really important step. So it was flowing, like we were still getting videos out, but it wasn't like a stable system, I would say.
Yeah, and why did it bother you at this point? Like, did you kind of try to scale and then it was impossible because of all of this like mass and inconsistency? Or what was the point where you were like, okay, cool, I need the system for this?
Yeah, so I mean, I wanted to scale, but even at the rate that I was doing it at right now, at that point, it was just such a headache because there was just no organization. Like we had times where we just couldn't post a video because we didn't have one. Like we were very
Yeah.
day to day in terms of like animations that we can post. And now obviously we have backlogs, we have systems, we have schedules, which again just helps focus a little bit more. And even though it's technically like the same amount of work, it's just the amount of headspace it clears for me to go do other stuff, or instead of finding all the ideas, now I'm just approving the ideas. So that takes hours less per week, while obviously still giving me the creative control and to maintain the quality, but just saving a lot of time and headache in the process.
Yeah, exactly. And are you like, would you describe yourself as more like a creative person or more like the person that enjoys the business side of things?
I would say I'm a little bit of both. I definitely fall more on the creative side.
Yeah.
I do love the business side as well. I'm just not much of a like an Excel spreadsheet guy. I know like
Yeah.
that's your thing.
Yeah.
And so I knew essentially like I have really good ideas. I have a vision for what a video should look like. I know what a video looks like that's going to go viral. But just to be able to know your numbers better, to know your schedule better, to know how you can improve. I think whatever you don't track, you can improve. And so I was
Exactly.
good. Like I was good, but I was just like sporadic, like numbers without like I know what I'm doing. I just wasn't able to know how to improve at scale and reliably. And I think
Yeah.
that's what, again, I was the creative side. I know you're really like with numbers, organization. And so I just needed that extra piece to help go to the next level.
Right, right. I see. And then, do you remember approximately, because obviously, like the exact numbers, it was like 4 months ago, but do you remember approximately how many videos you were doing per month at that time? Like, let's say in the month of August. And then, can you give us like a brief breakdown of, let's say, the revenue and the views back then?
In August, let me see if I can find it. So I was at a point where I was posting one a day before August, and then August I decided to go every other day because my goal was to build up a backlog.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, obviously like because the team was just it was so difficult to coordinate a schedule with the team to get a post out every single day. So I was like, if I just keep my same schedule and I just post every other day, then I'll be able to I pretty much forced a backlog in exchange for posting every single day.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point, with the systems where I was able to post every day consistently, and get back to that one a day. And then I've tried also doing twice in one day as well, and we can talk about that,
Yep.
and how that worked out. But yeah, an average 1 to every other day, depending on the month, around there.
Makes sense. So like 14, 15 videos, and then obviously now you're able to post more than that. Now we kind of scaled back a little bit because of the current state of the algorithm and etc. That makes sense. But then you also had this story, like this constraint for the script writers. So like, can you walk me through you actually like writing all of those scripts? And obviously as a creative person, for us, because I also think that there is a part of me who is creative. I'm not only like the spreadsheets guy, but like that's my favorite part. But then I also kind of enjoy the scripts. But what was stopping you from that side? So like you were doing it, you were doing everything by yourself, and obviously as creative people we kind of enjoy that. But then there was also a constraint for the business. So what was the problem there? And then can you walk me through how we like how is it structured now in the company?
Yeah, so before I was finding all of the ideas myself, which was good because I can only pick the best ideas possible, but it was at the cost of hours a week just trying to find the ideas, trying to go to other pages and go to other ideas that came up in my head or other references that I've done before. And now we have, our idea slash script guy. I'm very particular with my scripts, so whenever the scriptwriter will send them in, I will usually just sort of like tweak things and like format them a little bit differently, but like it makes it a lot easier for me because number one, the idea is already there, and then also we have a base of like the 3 or 4 key details for the story or for the video. And
Yeah.
so if I had to figure that out myself, it would take me a lot longer. But it's just with me personally, I'm more of like a perfectionist, so I actually do end up going and changing a little stuff, but it definitely still does save a ton of time.
Yeah. So basically, the process right now looks like he comes up with ideas and he like assigns them in a spreadsheet, and then obviously you approve the ones that you like the most. Then he writes the scripts, and then you only like make changes to perfect the script, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Makes
And
sense.
again, it's hard. Like I wish I could let go a little bit more with in terms of the scripts, but I just again because we're also right now only posting like 7 videos a week. Like I can't afford to have a script just like be okay. So
Yeah.
we're shooting for the best in the quality and then also in the quality of the scripts as well.
Right, right. And then how does it feel from the creative perspective? Because I know for at least for me at the very beginning, it was very hard to let go, even this like smallest tasks. But do you actually feel like you now have more leverage within the business and you kind of still have this creative ownership of what's going on, but you don't spend that much time? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean the ideas, the idea guy and the script guy, it's definitely helping me to because I feel like I can maintain the level of creativity because at the end of the day I approve the final script, so it's not like a bad idea is ever going to sort of pass through. So the quality technically stays the same. And essentially he'll send anywhere from 20, 25, 30 ideas, whatever per week, and then I get to pick the best of the best of the best of the best. And so the ideas stay the same, and then the quality of the script stays the same because he gets the key details. He'll write the script, and then I make sure it's perfect. So I get the same outcome with less. Like there is still involvement in for me, but just less steps
Yeah.
overall that I have to do. And then again, that allows me to focus on things like improving the actual animation quality, right? Because even if he makes a perfect script or whatever, I still have to make sure the watch time is good, the swipe is good. But if I was spending hours a day just writing the scripts from scratch or getting the ideas from scratch, I wouldn't have time to go to that other side of things. So it's been really
Yeah.
helpful that way.
Right, right. I see. And then, if you were to describe the biggest insight, or let's say system level shift that you went through throughout the program or us working together, what would you say was the biggest change?
I think the biggest thing for me is just tracking your numbers, tracking everything essentially. Because I used to just sort of wing it because I was talented creatively and I knew what
Yeah.
worked. But that's not how to grow and scale. Like just having those one-off random ones because it happened to work right that time with all the numbers. Like it's not a sustainable way to grow long term. So I just needed to essentially channel that energy into something proven, trackable, consistent, and just really in all areas, just knowing your numbers, right? Like there was a point where a few months ago or even recently, like the algorithm was supposed to be down for all shorts creators,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, not my fault. Videos just suck. And then I looked at the data. I'm like, wait, like I actually suck too. Like it's not just the videos, the
Yeah.
algorithm's fault. And so it just allows you to get a deeper picture and make better decisions instead of just sort of like putting your hands up and saying, I don't. It just gives you better insight.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, makes sense. And then tracking the data, that's one thing, but also like what I was asking and trying to break down, just so we also make it like a little bit more like valuable for the people watching, because I know that there's a bunch of creative people in my audience, those who are like maybe editing the videos themselves, or just trying to let go, but they couldn't really, they couldn't do it in the past, so they kind of gave up on this, and they keep grinding those channels themselves. So what were the main like 3-5 like key action steps that we actually took that was that were a game changer for you in terms of okay, cool, now I can let go, now I can run it as a business, and as you said, I can now focus on a picture, like I can zoom out and look at the numbers, look at the stats, and really kind of manage the orchestra instead of like just playing in it.
Yeah, I think definitely hiring was a big part of that, and I think the animation and brand guide that we created really helped as well.
Yeah.
Because I used to have to, when I would review videos, which I still do today, but when I was reviewing videos, I used to have to essentially like remind the team about like 100 different points. And so now I just kind of like, here's the guide, do it.
Yeah.
And now I'm just focusing, the goal is to mostly focus on the top of the top creative things where they might not always think about it. And yeah, so really going deep on your brand identity, your brand style, certain animation mistakes, that other channels do, or that I used to do in the past, volume level, just all these sort of fundamentals just saves a ton of time and allows me to make my reviews just only about what moves the needle forward at like the highest level.
Yeah, basically being an owner of the channel, not like an operator inside of it. That makes sense. Okay, cool. And let's get to the most exciting part. Let's get to the most interesting part. So, can you walk us through your results and stuff that we were able to achieve after you joined the program? So I know there were quite a few like financial wins for you, but then there was also a big win like brand wise. So can you walk us through that, and maybe like even share your screen and share your stats?
Yeah, so obviously the biggest one is hitting 1 million subscribers. That was a goal we had when we first started working together. We just made it, but we made it, which is all that matters. I wrote actually even before we started working together in July that I had a goal of reaching 200,000 followers on Instagram, 250,000 on Facebook, and obviously 1 million on YouTube. And the 200,000 on Instagram we literally hit like January 1st or January 2nd. 250,000 followers on Facebook we hit I think like a few days ago. And the YouTube we hit obviously like right before the new year. So those numbers have been good. Overall, I think on average we probably around like on all platforms anywhere from 400 million to 600 million views a month. Facebook right now is
amazing.
Almost I think like 200. Instagram's another 150, 200. YouTube right now is down, but about 80, 85. And then Snapchat again another 60, 70. It really depends on the month, to be honest. They all sort of vary, but on average it's been looking pretty solid. And again, RPMs are different on all those. It's kind of hard to tell. And then just going from, you said it was August. So you can see we've gained about 200,000 subscribers, almost 70 grand in revenue, and about 618 million views.
Nice.
So it's been pretty good. Obviously, again, like we've said, like just been kind of down recently because of a bunch of different reasons.
The AI slop and the algorithm. Besides just us constantly working on improving the videos, the AI slop did hit the 3D niche kind of a lot. My channel is also down, so it's been here and there recently. But I really like to see how let's say our first. Let's say a couple of, I think it was like 45 days that it took us to go to reach 20, I think we did like 22K or something a month, which we also tried to hit at the very beginning, and then we did it in like 45 days or so.
Was that October?
Yeah, it was like 15K first month, and then I think
like
26K. That was a good month.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. And then also, like honestly, looking at your stats, and like we won't go too deep into other platforms, obviously, but with your brand, with the stuff that we mentioned at the very beginning, you being a personal brand, you also unlocked yourself way bigger opportunities outside YouTube. So your Snapchat, your Facebook, obviously you're quite big on Instagram. Unfortunately, Instagram doesn't pay just yet. Maybe they will. But you know, you having those monetization sources allows you to kind of endure the you know the problems of the YouTube algorithm with more ease,
Yeah,
so to say.
that's what I call it, just like weathering the storm. I think
Yeah.
other than Zach and maybe you, most people are not on Facebook, which I think is extremely like underrated right now.
Yeah.
Um, and then again, like if something happens where there's like a 2 3 month period like this where YouTube is testing or they're trying to figure something out, and the costs they don't go down, the costs stay the same, and so it's like if you can't weather that storm, then there's been a lot of channels that you and I have seen in our niche where they just couldn't handle it and they left, and
Yep.
so I think it's just a huge positive for me as well, just to be able to diversify horizontally as well and not really rely on one platform, one monetization, one sort of thing like that, and that way like Facebook can make up for the YouTube losses, and then when all of them pump, like it just makes it that much sweeter.
Yeah, that's exactly what I like about your brand. All right, cool. Do you want to share a couple of like goals? Like, how do you see your channel in the next in the next couple of years? Because unlike other people who are just using YouTube as a way to make a quick buck here and there, we're actually building those brands like long term, and we're thinking about its future. So if you're open to like, do you mind sharing like a couple of goals? Like, how do you see your channel within the next couple of months or maybe years?
Yeah, so for me, obviously, like with the rise of AI, like everything is going to be commoditized. Like every AI, even our videos eventually are going to be able to be replicated. I think,
Yeah.
in my opinion, the only thing that won't be able to be replicated is like IP and just brand building over the years. So
Yes.
obviously, once everything calms down with this YouTube chaos, the goal is to get back up to twice per day, and just keep improving the content that way. Potentially continuing to expand in new formats, like we've spoken about with
Yeah, of course.
maybe I think we've spoken about like images on Facebook and some other cool stuff like that. But essentially, just building it to a point where if or when AI is able to replicate our style of videos, that people will see my face and my voice and choose to watch me anyways. And I think that can't happen right away. It just comes with the pattern of people seeing your face, your colors again and again and again. So it's just however I can do that, which is pretty much to post as many viral videos as possible.
Yeah.
Try to increase ways to build brand, build community, and all that stuff. That's essentially how. That's essentially the plan. But at the end of the day, no one really knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I can tell for sure that the channels like yours and mine, for example, they gonna survive those storms, and we just have to endure like the ups and downs of the algorithm. But overall, we're building brands, and what's that's the differentiator, and that's why a million subs is not the limit for us. Like we can go like 2, 5, 10, who knows how much more we can get from this. But all right, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing the results. Thank you for sharing the stats as well. I think for many people that was insightful, for those who like wanted to build a brand, a personal maybe, but then without the downside of having being on the camera. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for the interview, and yeah, let's wrap it up. If you have something to say as a last word, then go ahead.
Nothing much. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, this is just a start.
Yeah, it is. All right, then see you.
All right, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com, and do not get confused by the website names. SMM and SMM Dodge are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select And here you want to select something, basically any option that says you from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here. And this should be already fine. 2014, 2017. Yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm. And now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.